And welcome back. Joining me now to talk politics is State Representative Jana Della Rosa of Rogers. Representative, let's begin with your effort to reform campaign finance reporting here. You've got a new measure that you filed that's similar to one from the last session. Tell me what your bill is trying to accomplish. How has it improved from your effort last session?
Well, what the bill is trying to accomplish is to create a searchable database for the public for campaign finance information. What we have today is a system that's not very searchable. Part of the people file into it and part don't, so you don't know what's in there and you don't know what's not in there. And that's what I tried to run last time. And I'm trying to run the same bill again this time, but what's changed between then and now is we now have a new campaign finance system in place. We spent, I think the appropriation was $750,000. I don't think we spent quite all of that, but we bought a new system in the fiscal session. The system that we have today is not reliable. It has some miscalculations in it. It is kind of a patchwork, and there were several that didn't want to tie themselves down to having to report into a system that sometimes messed up their reports, which was a valid concern. And that's why in the meantime, I've been working to get a new system, and that is now in place. So we have spent the taxpayer dollars, and we're going to get our end of it, which is a better system to use, and this bill will make our participation mandatory, therefore providing what the taxpayers get out of this, and that would be a searchable database.
Certainly will make the public and us in the media have a lot easier time searching some of those campaign finance reports. Let's turn our attention to tax cuts. They are sailing through the legislature. A low-income tax cut signed by the governor this past week, military benefits exemption on its way. However, late Thursday, the governor called for some state agencies to come up with contingency plans because revenue collections have not been up to par. Are you guys cutting taxes too much, do you think?
I don't think so. One of the reasons that it came in, that the revenues are coming in lower than expected, had to do with payroll and shifting from one month to another. So we're not terribly concerned that that's going to continue. The thing that we're a little more concerned about, though, is sales tax revenue isn't quite coming in where it was forecasted at. And I think that's why the governor called on his state agencies to make up contingency plans, as we don't think it's going to be a problem, but the governor is a very cautious person. And, we would be remiss if we didn't come up with an alternate plan should things continue the way that they're going. But I don't think they will.
Let's talk about another topic that is out there too. A bill was filed, actually as a joint resolution was filed late Thursday, centered around tort reform. That's a potential constitutional measure that would resurrect a similar effort that was kicked off the ballot on the last year. You're opposed to this tort reform measure. Can you tell me why?
Well, it's got several aspects in it that I don't care for. When people say tort reform, nobody really knows exactly what it is they're talking about. I mean, that's a very broad term. Exactly what are you trying to fix? The measures or the changes that are included in this particular measure, I don't agree with, because I think that they take away the power of the jury. And considering how many of the First Amendments in the Bill of Rights have to do with jury trial and your rights, therefore, I don't think we should be messing with that. I think that the cleanest form we have and the least corruptible form that we have of deciding cases is a jury of peers. It just doesn't get any more local than that. And doing things like capping non-economic damages, capping punitive damages, I think that takes away the power of the jury. I think one of the other pieces in there was to cap attorneys' fees. I think contingency fees for attorneys, I don't support that, because we don't go around telling everybody else how much money they can make at their profession. I'm not saying NBA players make too much. All you're doing is playing basketball, you shouldn't make that much money. Or, well, you're a brain surgeon, but I don't think you should make that much money. The market determines how much money people make, and if they were making too much, then one of their competitors would charge a lower price. So I just don't think it's good practice to tell people what they're allowed to make for the job that they do. And additionally, non-economic damages, that's essentially the value of a human life, and I am staunchly pro-life, and you're never going to find me putting a dollar value on a human life, because I just think that's a slope that we should never start traveling down.
Yeah, definitely a fair point. All right, we got about 60 seconds here. Arkansas AR Future Grants. This is something that you're a sponsor of. The governor talked about it right before the session started. 2 years of tuition and fees paid for community colleges and technical schools for these high-wage, high-demand fields. How big is this labor pool that we're talking about, and why is this the right solution?
Well, we're not sure how many will participate in it. We're hoping it'll have great participation. The grants that it's replacing are not performing right now. I mean, they've got success rates in the 20% area. So the money right now is not being used very efficiently. So what we're trying to do is get it to two-year colleges, associate degrees, technical degrees, so that we can get people in the workforce that are wanting to get into the workforce. It's not needs-based. It's going to be first come, first serve. So anybody can apply for it. And we're just trying to target those that want to better themselves and want to get better jobs and get into the workforce. So that's really the goal with it.
All right, I think you'll be successful with that one. She's Representative Jana Della Rosa. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you so much.
After this break, we're back with our winners of the week. We'll go around the horn with the Talk Business and Politics crew. Stick around.